I know of one person that has done this. 4 years ago, I would think, maybe it was 4 or 5 years ago, it was my first year of seminary. And I was in seminary, and I came back from my first Syriac class, first or second Syriac class, and I got a message from this young, aspiring, well, not young, well, he was aspiring. He was older than me at the time. I was old. He was very fervent, and he messaged me saying, "Hey, I hear you're taking Syriac. Do you think you could help with the translations?" And I'm thinking, I don't even know like the letters yet. Come on, like. But there was this one person that pushed and pushed and pushed to really transform our liturgy so that we can be able to understand it, make it in English for us. And he's still striving for that this day. The thing is, you guys are not the only ones to make fun of him, unfortunately. When we all gather together, as like when we were all in seminary, the St. Ticons and St. Vlad's guys get together, we'd be hanging out and, just joking around, and he'd be like, "Yo, guys, let's translate something. Let's versify." He'd get out the book and start like, "Hey, Mary," all of a sudden we're like, "Yo, we just got out of class." But he had a dream, and he has a dream, and today I am honored, and we are all honored to see part of that dream realized, the fruition of that dream. So without further ado, I would like Deacon Jake Gurian to come up and speak about the dream.
I'm not taking much time. I just wanted to say that growing up in the church, I wasn't very fluent in Malayalam. I didn't speak it at home much. It wasn't something I was very comfortable with, especially in liturgy, growing up. So I was always craving and thirsting for an English stuff in English, something. And I felt like for our MGO system retreats and stuff, we didn't have much to use and utilize, and we didn't even know what was available. We had the Little Children's Book of Common Prayer. So, the song we sang for the comp line yesterday, "Lord Thy Mercy on Us Cast." That was like the one song that we had growing up. That's all that's the first song for me maybe growing up that we knew that we had. The first leadership camp, actually, in Houston. I remember that Saturday evening, Barnabas and me told us all to pray before we go to sleep, and a group of us all got together and we used that book and we prayed that prayer. Lord, thy mercy on us cast together. That's what we had. And it's so hard, and you all know, it's so hard in the parishes to kind of bring in English, and I don't have to speak on that. You know the difficulties of that. It's not easy. It's not received readily, and that's a struggle. So, and I was getting really frustrated as a college student. I would visit a lot of other Orthodox churches, and on another turn, I started trying to learn Malayalam from my uncle, and just trying to learn just for liturgy purpose, just to learn and I would go to my parents and ask them stuff like, "What is Rujumadil Kirulil?" And they'd be like, "We don't know. What are you guys mean?" But I mean, I'd want to know, because I feel like everybody knows these things, and we need to know these things. And so it's not right that we're just saying these things and it's not from our heart. So I made that effort to try to learn as much as I could. But when I went to seminary, we do the hours of prayer. But we had this book. It's translated by B. Griffiths, the Book of Common Prayer of the Syrian Church. It has all the hours of our common prayer in prose. You can read it. And it's good. It's great for meditation. I encourage everyone to get a copy of this, the full thing. And it's good to read and to meditate upon, and especially for your personal prayer, it's great. But when we tried to use it for the MGO system camps and stuff, it was so dull to use. Because everybody would just kind of read it. It wasn't like, it didn't capture that ethos. It didn't capture that essence of what our worship is. I'm sorry, I'm using words that, you can Google it. Anyways, so point is, I felt like we needed to do something in our church, and to do that. We looked, and it was one of those things I dreamed about, seeing our people worship the Orthodox way, especially in our West Syriac liturgy in English together in this country. And so I just started, especially we did a lot of Saturday retreats. In the Northeast, that's big, like to go and do like Saturday one-day retreats. And we would go to the different areas and do that. But we didn't have a form of real prayer in terms of song. So I thought, okay, Saturday morning, and I started putting together that first song was the Judge Not Your Servant. I remember I was at George Koshevchin's house, and I just looked at it, and we just, Phil Chimachin was there, we just kind of talked about it, did it, and then we started, and then I met with Saidu Chimachin one time, we did that cold. And then from there, it started going where I started just working on this. It ended up being I even asked for permission to let this be counted as like credit for my seminary education as a project. And so then I got all the sutaras done, all the compliance done as a project for seminary, with the hopes that this could be something that could be in the hands of the people. Realize that even in Malayalam, it's not used much, except for seminaries, aramanas, monasteries. I don't think, maybe some churches in India, but definitely in America, it's not used. I don't even know if many of our people are very familiar with the Shahimo Namaskaram. I don't think so. So we started using it, and then HLC, we used it, and we just started introducing it in all the areas that we could, and utilizing it. And all the deacons, the seminaries, the young urchins all pushed for it. They all were receptive of it to lead it and do it, our worship. Because we knew that this way we can teach our people, teach the music of the church, teach the theology of the church. We knew that, and that this could be a big turning point for us in how we run our retreats. So finally, by the blessing of God and by the wonderful support of both the metropolitans and the urchins and my fellow urchins, deacons, and brother seminarians, we have something. And this book, what it has, it's taking this prose and putting it into the Syriac tone system. It has the evening prayer, one song, one kolo, and it has the full, the compline prayer. And so it has that for every evening, Monday through Friday, all the evenings. So whenever there's an MGO 6 and Bible study, a campus ministry, anything that happens during the week in the evening, we can use that. But we realize there's so many youth conferences that happen like Thursday through Sunday, or Thursday for the whole weekend. So what we did was we put the Thursday evening, the Friday full day, and the Saturday full day. So that's what we've been using at this camp. And when you talk about, when Abuna Anthony talked about, the dream and how there's something that's going to be important to you that maybe everyone else won't feel that passion. But that's okay, because we all have to feel some calling and role in the church. I feel like, for sure, if we were to, if I were to think about it, it would be this type of work. I'm very passionate about it, and for me, it's been spiritually rewarding to do this. But I think that, it's amazing to see how when you really look to serve God in this church, what God can do with you. And I think, we all need to find that and realize, and for me, this is the beginning of a realization. When I hear the kids of our church sing the Shihimo so beautifully, just like this morning, yesterday, and throughout, I think we all can say, it's such a wonderful feeling. And and you guys are being able to take this back to your areas. Another thing that we did is we recorded all of this, or at least 90% of it is recorded into tracks. Ajuachin was mainly on it, Philemon is on it, myself. And we worked with Tony Duke, who's from Dallas, and he is doing the editing and the polishing of that. It's going to come out on iTunes, and we want everyone to, the idea is that we know that everybody is having commutes, they're always on their iPods, they have the computers on, things like that. You can have this. You can have this to kind of learn the songs and learn the prayer life of the church. And so you're very familiar with it. That's what we want. And so it's going to come out, God willing, in the middle of August, August 15th, we hope to come up with that for the tunes. So you can download it to your iPods or whatever, computers and stuff like that. So this book, we're debuting it here, but we want this to go, we're shipping it out to all the areas, okay? We want all the areas to get this book, to have this book. We printed 1,000 copies as the initial print, and we want to give it to all the areas. We don't want this to be, we're not looking to make money. MGOCSM of North America has offered to sponsor the publication up front. All we want to do is just make the money that we spent. We're not trying to act like fundraise or anything really. We're just trying to make the money that was used to make this book. So we're charging $5 for the book. I think, basically a Starbucks coffee for this treasure. So, I mean, in terms of the theology and the prayers of our fathers. So, I really encourage you guys, to go back to your areas, not just the council members, the delegates, to go back to your areas and figure out a way that either your churches get these books, your youth groups, and even just the youth members get these books, the families get these books. It's very good to have something to pray throughout the days. There's different themes. And I encourage you to read the beginning. There's some introduction words about the Shekimo and the themes and things like that. MGOCSM of North America will be taking care of the distribution and publication of it. So get with Vijay Chimachin, get with myself. We can help if you need books or what's going on. But this is the initial debut. It will be shipped out. I'm getting the numbers for all the areas of how many books they need. We're going to ship it to all the areas, and it's going to be available on iTunes to be able to listen to the songs. Okay. So with that. I'm going to present our Metropolitans with 2 copies of the abridged Shekimo Namaskaram.